guys, Whisper Missing here, and welcome back to my channel. I have free time finally for once. I've caught up with everything, and I get asked questions a lot, mostly in my Facebook messages, about how I take my pictures, how I edit them, etc. And I will tell you, I am not a Photoshop pro. So remember that. I do what I do to make things work, and they work well for me, I guess. I'll get into the programs I use and whatever. Now, I Frankenstein my pictures. You'll see what I mean when we get into that. So basically, I do have just a normal wind light on. It is just the regular wind light. It isn't anything special, as you can see for right now. I do go ahead and set everything to ultra, obviously. My light, I usually attach a light, or this is my big ass light I use, this red thing. But yeah, it works for me. Now, what I mean by Frankenstein, let's get into it real quick. So we're just going to use this pose. And as you can see, just by this alone, you see how the shawl's going through the arm, through the arms, and even this part of the leg right here. And it just happens with poses. I'm not necessarily trying to lie about the item in general. It's just the pose, but I want to use a pose because it's cute, you know? So I'm going to show you what I do. Again, you can play with your light. I just prefer to just res it and do what I want with it. Alright. Typically, I do use the wind light. It's good for beach too, is this tan skin. That's way too light. When I do my tan skin, tanned wind light, it's usually something like this I'll use. I'll play around with it, move my body light around or whatnot. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and use the regular. I do play with my photo tools. Photo tools can be found in, I believe, let's see here, World and Photos and Videos, and you'll see photo tools. So Alt-P. I make sure everything in the wind light settings is lifelike. I have transparent watermarked. I go over to the general render settings. I make sure I'm at the smoothest. You have to have a good computer for this. I'm not going to lie about it. If you don't have a good computer, it's going to lag you so much, probably will crash you when you take a picture. I set my avatar detail to high and my object detail to high. Alright, so let's take our first picture here. Alright. Now, when I do take my picture, I do save them in 6000 by 3178. I'm crazy. I just like it. I save it as PNG lossless, and I save it to my file within my computer. So let's go ahead and do that. Saved. Now, don't lose your visual sight. Do not move your avatar at all when you're going to make when you're going to fix all these errors within the mesh. Okay? Alright. So let's go. Now, I use Paint Shop Pro. Yeah, some of you are like, what? I use Paint Shop Pro because it's what I learned on my own. It's what I'm comfortable with. And after I do what I need to do in Paint Shop Pro, I'll transfer my image over to Paint Shop and edit further on that, and I'll show you in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to crop out what I believe I want my picture to look like. So let's just go ahead and do that. Alright, so my picture's all big now. I'm going to go back, I'm going to fix the arm errors. I'm going to show you how I do that by going into my Maitreya HUD. I'm going to go ahead and click the arms. There's no arms. So let's take another picture. And we're going to go ahead and save that. Put my arms back on. Alright. So I'm going to pull up the new picture. Now, I can last apply a crop. I'm not sure if you can do that in Photoshop, but again, I use Jasc Paint Shop Pro to do that. And at this point, I have two images. One showing the arms and one not showing the arms. So I take the one that I'm going to use, and I paste it on top of the ones with the arm missing. Alright, and we're going to zoom in on the arms. And we're going to go ahead and use, what is this called? Opacity. Yeah, opacity. Opacity. Just so we can see where the arms are versus everything else. So we're going to go ahead and erase this. So what I did, again, was I put an image, the old image onto the image with the no arms, okay? And they're not layered together, so you can go ahead and erase this second layer you put on. But I'm only going to erase the arms. I want to see more. There it goes. Change the size just so I can do this properly. We can always fix little things here and there in Photoshop, so we'll do that. Alright. We can always check to see what it looks like. Okay, it looks good from afar. Okay. And we're going to go over to the other arms. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Alright. Like, I don't mind doing this. I would rather use a pose that I want to pose and be able to edit if the mesh body pulls through the clothing. Because again, it happens from time to time with specific poses. There's always a way around it. I've just been seeing this a lot on Flickr, and maybe people just aren't aware or know how to do it. So here I am. I learned this stuff mostly on my own. I'm very stubborn and I don't really like to ask for help. Let's see how there's a little bit of skin left. And that's fine. Alright. So we have the image and we can do, see? And we're going to go ahead and merge those two layers. Yeah, so if you have any pieces, see how this piece is right here? I didn't see that till right now. So instead of having to really Photoshop that, I go back and I'll go to pelvis, take another picture, save it. Alright, put my pelvis back on. Go back into my Jasc, open the picture, preset, last applied. Alright, so we're going to take this one, again, our original one we're going to use, and we're going to paste it as a new layer on top. And we're going to go ahead with our eraser tool, and bam. Alright. So layer merge again. And we're going to go ahead and save this. So file, save as, I don't know, we'll just name it 01. And this is where Paint Shop Pro comes into play. I'm going to go ahead and open the image. Alright, so there's this filter that I would urge all of you to download because it helps a lot. You can create your own filters and whatnot. So before I even blur everything out or whatever, or liquefy, I will go ahead and first filter it. It's called NYX Collection. If you aren't familiar with NYX, I'll put the link below, but it comes with all this stuff right here. I use these two more often. So we're going to go ahead and choose a Color FX Pro. This is only available if you download the addition to Paint Shop. Now, let me move this over here for you so I can show you guys. It's not going to move, but, you know, let me show you. These are all the different filters that you can choose, and they're really fun. I enjoy them. You just create your own and whatnot. Pro contrast helps a lot because you can, you know, lighten your skin. I use this a lot. I do have my originals saved, and you can save them in this NYX add-on. So you add filter, and then you have save recipe. So whatever you create, after you per se want this one, you can add another filter to that. And I don't know, we'll just go Indian summer. And they have this little tool up here that says compare. You can do before and after to see, or you can even click this off. But you can save this recipe. You'll save it, blah blah blah, and it will go into your recipes, which is right here. I have a zillion recipes saved, so I'm gonna go down to the one I usually use, which is this one. And sometimes tonal contrast is too much for me, and I'll play around with all of this. Foliage is nice. It makes your grass and plants greener, and sometimes objects behind lighter, like brighter than what they're supposed to be. Glamour glow is nice. It adds a soft glow to your pictures. So detail extractor, ooh, it gets like a lot of these. I leave it at 3% because it can be overwhelming, but it does help a lot. Go back to my 3%. And white neutralizer will take you from kind of like dark to a lighter color. I'm going to go ahead and add a filter, and I'm going to go back and click that Pro Contrast that I like to use and play with that some. Correct that. Correct this. So you can see befores and after. Alright. Again, if you don't like the pink kind of look, the pastel kind of look, then again, play with all these filters over here to the left. It's fun to do. You make your own filters, save them, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead, if I wanted to liquefy some things, like, I don't know, maybe the shoulder, the elbow. This comes in handy too if you got a pointy ass elbow. Liquefy will help you out, let's just say. Now it does distort skin a lot, so make sure you're aware of that. But basically, yeah, that's what it's going to look like. And if I wanted to fix my elbow, see how it screws up the background? You kind of don't want that. Again, you're going to have to play around with stuff to see if you can make it possibly look better and not distort the background too much, because then it's obvious you photoshopped. See, I didn't catch this. I forgot about this in the old picture. Normally I'd go ahead and go back and take the Maitreya and what do you call it? Take the Maitreya and alpha that out and just erase over it onto a picture. I really hope I set this this video up to show where I'm pointing to, because that kind of suck. Alright, so enough babbling. So here's what I got so far. So again, let me see if I can do this. I can go over here, and this is Paint Shop again. If I want to hide this, I can see my before picture and my after picture. Before picture, after picture. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back into my filters, the NYX collection. I'm going to do Analog Dog and play with that. Did I say Analog Dog? Analog FX. My bad. And they have these really cool filters, camera filters you can always play around with. You see, and you can always do the strength or softness and whatever on it and compare to what you had. Okay. It's actually cute. Alright, but for right now, let me see, I'm going to go ahead and save that one. It takes a little bit to load the texture after you filter it from NYX collection. Alright, so again, that was the one we did prior, and this is it now. So very cute. I like a little softness, so I'll go back into Analog Dog. Analog Dog, I keep saying that. Good Lord, it is Analog FX. Too much time in Second Life. I go to Light Leaks, and with Light Leaks, it's really cool. You can use all these like light kind of filters. I'm gonna kind of use this one and just put a little bit to it. Go ahead and use that for right now. I'm going to show you what I do. I'm only wearing this stole to show you. It's not an actual part of my outfit. Alright, so with this, I'm going to go ahead and hide these two. Alright, so again, this is what I had before. This is with my little light leaks. I'm going to change the opacity on this to where it's not going to be so soft, and it'll merge in with this this layer right here. And yeah, so let me go back into this. This is at 36%. Again, this was 100%, so 36. 36, where are you? And that looks good to me. So since these two need to be, the little eye needs to be on before you merge them. So these are off, which is good. We're going to go ahead and merge them. Layers. Oops, wrong one. Go ahead and layer, merge visible. So far, this is what I got. Before, after. Before, after. I'm going to go ahead and take the, what is this called? This blur tool. Alright. And as you can see, you see how it's all like grainy? It's because of the filter I chose. So normally I would not play with this filter. And also it looks like it has dirt. I didn't see that, so that was my fault. And that bothers me because I don't like that one now. So let's unmerge it. We'll edit, step backwards, step backwards. Okay. So even though that's cute, I don't like the dirt on this. Like, why is there dirt? It's because one. Okay. Well, guys, you're stuck with that for now. All right. So, anyways, never make a picture really with this grainy. And yeah. But anyways, I'll go and I'll make my nose softer. But the thing about NYX is it's fun. It's fun to play with. It's you know, you come up with so many different ideas that you want your picture to look like. Right now, I'm blurring out like all the rough spots. Usually your elbows and that you want to blur just to make it kind of blend in. Don't ever use the one with the dirt marks and scratches and crap like I did. The filter, my bad. But yeah, again, I'm not a freaking pro at Photoshop. I never have been. I just learned little things along the way that kind of helped me. And NYX collection actually helped me a crap load. So, all right. If you want, there's also a burn tool you can use. I don't use it too often, but you know, it adds a little like kind of like shadow, I want to say. Which I don't mind because, you know, So there's my shadow. You can make the boob line even like a darker shade. I use it a lot on my blush. Alright, so for now, that's the final product. Again, I don't normally use like such a grainy filter. Kind of rushing through this, but that's okay. So this is the before and the after. Before, after, before, after. Blah, blah, blah. What I do from here is basically I put my little signature. I do like to resize mine by 6,000. I don't know why, I just do. I prefer it that way. So when you click on my picture in Flickr, you get a nice like non-grainy like perfect image, and I like that. It's large. And there you have it, guys. That's how I whisper mizzen, edit my photos. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to answer. Again, please take in mind, I am not a Photoshop expert. I only know what I know on Jasc Paint Shop Pro because it's like forever old like me. And Paint Shop Pro is actually more simpler for me that I have those filters, because before I didn't know how to do those filters. All I knew how to do was liquefy and dodge and blur and all that. So yeah, alright guys, thanks for watching.